Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and we're going to start playing my TBR game. If you saw my last round, I have all of these cards out, and one thing that I was supposed to do that I didn't do is every time I draw an ace, I'm just supposed to reshuffle all of the cards together, and I was only reshuffling these cards, not all of them that I had already taken out. So anyway, I'm not going back and adding them in. These are the ones that I have already drawn and already gone through. So they're staying over here. There's one more ace in here somewhere. And when I draw that, then I'll add everything back together and shuffle them all. It doesn't matter for today's game for sure. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get out all 6 cards. I'm just gonna hold them up and show them to you here. And then we'll go over what they are and what they mean. So excited. Okay, I'm just gonna pull from the top like this and see what it is. So here we go. Number 1. Number 2. Oh no. So a joker just means that I have an extra draw. So that doesn't count. That means I'm gonna draw 7 instead of 6. There's number 2. 3, 4, 5. They're all low numbers this time. 6, and my bonus draw for my joker. Oh, a king. Okay. So, no aces this time. I don't have to shuffle. I don't have to add anything. The box feels weird because it doesn't have very many cards in it at this point. So we're going to switch to my computer view so that we can talk through what these cards are and what they mean. So the first thing we're going to do, which I forgot about, but we're going to go ahead and look at the Booktube spin results because I've already shared what I'm doing, and all I'm doing is the top 20 books or the first 20 books that I put on my story graph. So I don't want to pick those as part of my TBR game if they're what came up in the spin. So we're going to watch this where he does the spin, and I'll tell you what my 2 books are that are going to be added to my TBR, and then we will look at the cards and see what else will be added.
Let's see what we're going to be reading. I'm always nervous every time it happens. The first number is going to be number 8. So congrats.
Okay, so let's look over here, and I just kept them in the same order. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When Darkness Comes by Alexandra Ivy. So I'm going to add that to my TBR, and then we continue. Now let's see what the next one is.
So let's move on to book 2. Let's see what this is. Book number 2. Number 2 is going to be number 13.
Okay, so this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is the one that I said I didn't even know what it was about. So The Stopover by T.L. Swan. So those are my 2 books from the spin. Okay, so let's get to what the cards are and what they mean. So the first card was the 2 of Spades, and the Spades prompt are always Hey Reader or TBR Machine. So I've already got Hey Reader pulled up because that's what the 2 is, and I just spin the wheel or pick a card for a random prompt. I think I'm going to spin the wheel this time and see what prompt I get. A pretty cover, okay? Well, that kind of helps me out. I really think that this cover at the top, the Brave, is pretty. So I'm putting this on my list, and this is going to be what I read. I love butterflies. I love the colors that's used in here. And so here we go. Okay, my next is the 5 of Hearts, and hearts are always different kind of genres, and 5 is classic. So I'm going to take that out of the rotation because I'll go down here and I have all of the genres over here that I like to read or that I have books for in my story graph, and then I'll go over there. So now we go to the story graph and we're going to filter this time, and we're going to only do classics and see what our first one is. Okay, A Place Like Mississippi, a journey through a real and imagined literary landscape. That's awesome. I grew up really close to Mississippi. I was in Arkansas, but I was right on the Mississippi River, and like my dentist was in Mississippi because it was actually the closest orthodontist when I got braces. So anyway, I feel like I know a lot about Mississippi without having lived there. So this is essays, nonfiction, classic. So there we go. Okay, the next one is the Three of Clubs. So that is an Edgar Award winner. So what I have done in the past is I have just pulled up a list of these awards, and then I have randomly picked a number or a year on my phone, and then that's what I've gone with. So that's the plan this time. Okay, so the best novel winners, it started in 1954. So I'm not going to go through, I'm just going to assume that they have them all in here leading all the way up to 2021 is actually already done too. So I'm just going to tell her to pick a number between 54 and 2021. And I have to do it in numbers, so you'll see what I mean. Just a second. Pick a number between 1,950 and 2,021.
The answer is 1,980.
Okay, so 1980, and I said a number between 1950 and 2021, but thankfully she didn't pick that. Okay, in 1980, the winner was The Rheingold Route, or Route, however you want to say it, but by Arthur Mayling. I feel like I've heard of him before, but here we go. He was an American writer of crime and thriller novels. So this is what I'm reading. Okay, and then the next one is The Six of Diamonds. Diamonds are my series that I have at least started and read one book in. So I'm really excited about that. And especially because what it is the Brown Sisters trilogy, and I have read book 1 and that's it. So I'm so excited to get to book 2. Let me look and see which one is book 2. I think I know their names, but I don't want to say the wrong name for it. Okay, so book 2 is Take a Hint, Danny Brown. So that's what I'm going to be reading. I'm so excited for it. Okay, and we are back to Hearts, which is another genre, and this is number 4, and it's poetry. Now, as some of you know, I am already reading poetry, but I'm not going to count that because I want to find new things with these cards. That's the whole reason that I have them. So I am going to put poetry in my filter and whatever comes up first. Closer to Nowhere by Ellen Hopkins. This is children's poetry. Maybe it's just told in verse. I'm not sure, but I am excited for it. Closer to Nowhere by Ellen Hopkins. I'm going to try to get that one from my library just because I like reading those poetry books. Like I like holding them in my hands. Okay. Next up is more diamonds, and this one is another series, number 9, the Undead Series. So again, I'm so excited. Anytime I get to go back to my series that I like and get to keep going with them, it's great. So this is book 2. It's Undead and Unemployed, and that's where I am. I've only read one book so far. I know this is an old series and it's really long, but I like the first book, so I'm giving number 2 a try. Okay, last one for the Joker. My extra draw was a king, which means I have to pick a color and find that on my story graph. I'm just gonna go here, color generator. And last time I was like, let me pick a different color that I thought would be easier. Oh, press the space bar. Here we go. Oh, okay. I like that. I like how it does that. Okay, we're going for this green color. So I go over here, I clear my filters. I'm going to have the color pulled up here and my list right here beside it so that I can find something that has this color in it. And this has to be the closest, right? Yes. I'm saying yes. So, Frankly in Love by David Yoon is going to be the last book that gets added from my card game. And that's it. Those are the books that I'm going to be reading from my TBR card game. There are plenty of other books on my TBR, but a lot of those are carryovers, or I'm just reading through a series and reading one book a month. And speaking of that, over here on my card game, I'm also going to move the Wheel of Time out because I'm actually buddy reading the entire series with Andrew from Get Right On In. And so every month, well, not even every month, we are reading 2 chapters a day-ish of each of the books, and as we finish a book, we just immediately start on the next book. So it's been working well so far, but we have a long way to go to finish the year. But that is our plan. We should be able to get them all done by the end of December. So I'll be talking about them as I finish reading them, but I am taking them off the TBR card draw since I'm going to be reading them with Andrew. So I'm going to go through and fix everything over here and put the new genres in and the new series in that I'm reading and get everything updated so that I'm ready to go for next month. I am so excited to go through the books that I got this time in my card game. I am loving the card game. It's been a lot of fun to have all these different categories and get to go through and just get random books. Like, not random because I know that I want to read them, but picking them in a random way that I am loving so much. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know below if you have read any of these books, if you want to read any of these books, or if there's any of them that have been on your list for a while and you want to join me to read. I would love to do that as well. I have been recently trying to get better about posting on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, go follow me. I will make sure everything is linked down below. I would love to chat with you over there as well as here in the comments. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.